Good day! So, my name is Allie, for those of you who don't know me, and I am the maker behind Crochet in the Mud, where I do both crochet plushies as well as pottery. And as you can see, we're starting our day off in the car. I am going off to a Friday night market that I've done plenty of times in the past. I usually average about $750 of sales. So I think we're going to shoot for $800 today. Try to get a little above average. So, it's a pretty nice day out. It's, I think, in the 70s today, so I have a hoodie for later on when it gets a little warmer, but the market is a Friday night, and it is from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m., so about 9 hours of sales, and I'll catch in with you when I get there. It's about an hour drive for me. This is my setup today, so it's pretty standard for what I normally do. Lots of big plushies over here. And then this is our pottery setup today. And then for the first time, we have stitch markers and resin eyes. We made our first sale before the market opened at 5. They bought a yellow axolotl and a pink turtle. So the yellow axolotl, unfortunately, was my only one, so I no longer have a rainbow. But it was a frustrating problem to have, but a good problem. Where as I'm actively setting up, people keep coming in the tent, which I'm like, go away. But I'm gonna make it just easy. Hello! It's now 5:15 and the crowd is definitely starting to trickle in, so it looks like we're gonna do some steady traffic today, the next 4 hours. This market does get a little stressful though, doing it alone, because I will form a line of people trying to check out, and then I can't watch to make sure nobody steals from me, but usually I don't get too much theft while I'm here. If anything, it'll be my $12 plushies. So, this is what my back stock looks like to start the day off. So, about a duffel and a half of overstock, so we're doing pretty well for being me. It's now 6:40. I'm not sure what I'm at, but I had a huge spike, so I guess I'm at like 450 or 500, but I haven't looked. I did have one family buy 4 plushies, and they were a $90-something order. I've caused 2 tantrums so far. They were both in the same family. The first one sat on the floor and started screaming, and then they bought her one, and then they bought the little sister, a pocket octo, and then she was mad that's what they bought her and threw it. But then they left, so it caused a lot of tantrums. Obviously not on purpose. It's a good thing I have a lot of herb strippers. They have been selling like hotcakes. And it's also a good thing I have 70 more that'll be in my kiln though next week, so I can restock.
Let me take this guy.
Alright, do you need a receipt today?
No, I don't.
Or a bag? I'm skipping steps.
I would like a bag, yes.
A bag, yes. Okay. It's going to be 1963 with tax. You can tap or insert.
Tap doesn't work anymore.
You want to take your card out?
Yeah, thank you.
And then you said no receipt.
Correct.
You're all set?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you need a bag for it?
Small one.
It's going to be $16.37 with tax. And this is dishwasher safe and microwave safe. This is the smallest I have, okay?
Perfect.
Okay. I'm out of my small ones.
That's totally fine.
I'll ask if you want a receipt. If not, don't worry about it.
I'm sure it'll be gravy. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Have a good one. Hi, chicken? Do you need a bag? No, I think I didn't need it. Okay. It's $17.45 with tax. $2.55 is your change. You need a receipt? No. You're all set. Thank you. Hi. Pink turtle. Do you need a bag for it?
Yes, you do.
Yep, sure. Go ahead and take that then. So with tax, it's $19.63. If you're doing card, you can tap there.
Yeah.
How's your day been?
Pretty good. I just got here, actually.
Well, enjoy. That? Did you need a receipt?
No, that's okay.
Have a good one.
Do you have any other colors of the...
That's all I have right now, but I can always custom make it. If you take a card, my email should be on there. Just say you want the long neck dinosaur, and then tell me what color, and I can show you options I have. Yeah.
Do you have a Venmo?
I do.
Okay. Let me see if I can Venmo you for this because I don't have enough cash.
No worries. Let me get you the winter tax, and I'll pull up. That's the QR code, and it's $56.71 with tax. Do you want a bag for it? Nope. All right. Is that your favorite color? I just thought it was cool.
She's usually a blue girl, but she likes that one.
This one makes me feel like pink lemonade. Do you get that vibe, or is it just me?
I can see it. We're always yellow and pink, so
I'm not too sure.
okay, thank you so much. Oh, look at this place. It always takes a minute.
You're good. If you have signal issues, one person stood just outside the tent it went through. There it is, you're all set. Did you want a receipt? Alright, thank you, have a good one. Hi.
This is also an herb thing, right?
This one's like a pollen. You could use it for herbs. It's a teeny tiny pollen is what I made it for, like berry. Whatever you want.
I would expect to do
I should have just said yes.
Well, I mean, when you think about it, would you really have that many herbs? I don't know.
I don't know. I was trying something with that. These are dishwasher safe and microwave safe. Do you need a bag for them?
No.
Do you want me to wrap them up?
Oh, yes, please.
That's most people's answer tonight. It's going to be $32.74 if you're doing card. Just tap there. I think I said it, but they are dishwasher safe. I've still told so many people tonight that I'm like, I don't know. Do you want a receipt for it? You can do text or email. Just right up here. You're all set? Thank you. Hi, a cat. Do we need a bag for the cat? It's going to be $19.64 with tax. For card, just tap this bad boy. How's your night going?
Good.
Receipt today?
Sure.
I can do a text or email.
How about email?
Looks like I have that one, okay? Blue one. You are all set? Thank you. Do you need a bag today?
No then.
It's $27.45 from tap. You can tap or insert there. How's your night going?
Going well. How is yours?
Pretty good.
That's good. Making lots of sales?
Yeah,
Nice.
pretty well. Did you want a receipt?
No receipt.
You're all set?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
What is in here?
It's polyfill stuffed cat. Kind of like what's in your pillow or a couch. 8 p.m. This is what our back stock is looking like. We've done pretty well, so I did end up changing the cats to be 2 of each kind. That I do have 2 of each kind because I sold out of some colors. And this is how how we are ending the night. Most everything was replaced multiple times. The herb strippers were the best seller of the night, I'd say. That market was a lot. So I'm very happy to be done with that market now. It is now Monday, so I've had 2 days to kind of relax and try to rest up from that. Doing a market by myself, even though it was only 4 hours, is quite a bit, especially this one. I typically do this one alone because it is on a Friday and it's about an hour away from home, so I'm not about to ask Henry to come join me an hour away after he's worked a full day. However, Henry got a surprising half day at work, but he didn't want to join me. I'm not mad about it. I didn't expect him to come, but it would have been a nice surprise if he did. This market has been a thing for, I think, 20-something years. However, the coordinators who used to run it have moved states, so it's now under new management. And I feel like they did a good job. My only complaint was setup and teardown was not as smooth as it typically is. So at this market, we drive up to our spot, unload, park your car, come set everything up, and at the end of the night, tear everything down, move your car, load it, and then drive away. So the issue that I had, and it's usually you have to wait a little bit, but it's a 2-lane road, and then there are parking, like side parking, so essentially a 4-lane road if you think about it. And our tents would take up the parking spot, and then all of the guests walk through the 2-lane road. The road is closed for this market, if that's not clear. And so usually you can pull off to your spot enough that people can get around you. There are a couple instances where, like, if the 2 booths across from each other are unloading at the same time, sometimes they'll block. But everyone was parking in the middle of the street, like in the middle of the 2 lanes. And there's no way I can drive around you. So that was a little frustrating. And then because of this, I felt the need to then unload my car at the fastest possible speed. And I think I did it within 5 minutes by myself. All of my display, all my products, everything. And then by the time I got back to my booth to set up, I had to take a minute because I felt lightheaded, and yeah. I also was regretting the pant decision. I decided to wear leggings and a tank top to this, and then I brought a hoodie. I have in the past, because you know the weather's out, it's going to be really warm during the midday, and then morning and night it's going to be cold. So I have in the past worn like biker shorts and then brought sweatpants to put over when it gets cold, and the hoodie as well. But I opted for leggings today, and I grew to regret it. I survived, but I was just a little toasty during setup and the first like hour of markets, especially because I was in direct sunlight. But I survived. It's not anything that was going to kill me. And then this market also notoriously has early shoppers. So about 20 to 30 minutes before the market opened, there were people walking around, which is really frustrating when you're still setting up, because you can't focus fully on setup because you have to keep, like in my instance, they were looking at the side that was behind me, so I kept having to turn around, make sure they weren't stealing anything, see if they needed any help. And I just wait until the market opens, please. But on the days where I'm set up early, I'm happy for those early shoppers. So it's kind of like a balance. But I did get to this market a little later than I'd hoped. The market started at 5 and setup started at 3. And I was aiming to be there at 3. Of course, there was traffic. I had to drive through downtown Denver. And then because I'm alone, I don't like to leave my stuff. So I try to get a bathroom break before I go in. So I stopped at this gas station that was right outside the market. I've done this before. I did buy gas because I was needing gas, and I was a little annoyed because gas was $2.99 and it was a little pricier than other spots. But I felt bad using their bathroom and not buying anything. So I bought gas, parked my car, walked out to the door just to see a sign that says bathroom out of use. So, no bathroom for me. Luckily, I did survive. I didn't really feel the need to pee until I got home, so it was okay. Some other notable things. There was this group of boys. They were probably 8 to 12. I'm not sure exactly how old they were, but it was probably 10 of them. And this happens a lot at this market. Well, I will have kids come in, look at my stuff, leave. Come in, look at my stuff, leave. Come in, look at my stuff, leave. And then by the end of the night, they will buy something. This group of boys, however, came in. They bought 1 to 2 items, left. Cool, awesome, done. And then they would come back, still having the plushies they've previously bought, not in a bag, holding them. They would buy 1 to 2 more. They would leave. And they kept repeating this cycle. And with having so many transactions in such a short amount of time, like, my brain gets fried. Like, I literally start asking people, usually when they're buying, paying with their card or whatever, I'll say, do you need a bag? And if so, then I'll do that while they're proceeding with their transaction. And at the end, I ask if you want a receipt, and oftentimes I'll hit a point in the night where I start reversing those questions. But so my brain's already fried at this point because I think it's 8 p.m. already, so it's been 3 out of the 4 hours of this market, and they just keep repeating this, and I'm having issues keeping track of what have they bought already, what have they not. At one point, they bought a light blue axolotl, and then when they were leaving, I saw someone was holding a hot pink axolotl. So I did chase after them a little, and I said, hey friends, you know, you didn't buy a pink axolotl. And that's when they go, oh, well, we switched the blue axolotl for the pink axolotl. You told me you were buying the blue. I hate when people buy something and then they're like, actually, can we switch colors? No, you messed up my inventory. But I just went ahead and on the back end switched the inventory up so it accounted for them buying a hot pink instead of a light blue. But I was debating at one point whether or not the next time they came in, if I said, hey, everything that's already been purchased, I need you to set on this table because I cannot keep track of what you're looking at versus what you've already bought. It was too much. I also noticed during the market, I have a lot of duplicates of my smaller plushies that when somebody will buy something, I'll restock. And with this market being so busy, I started just grabbing it when I couldn't. I would throw it on my chair. And then when there was a lull in customers for a quick second, I would go in and quickly put them on the shelf. And sometimes, if I can't find it or I just want to know how many more I have, I'll add them to the cart and it'll yell at me of like, if I add 2, it'll say, oh, you only have 1 of these available. So I did that a couple times, and my inventory told me I should have more of certain colors of cats that I did not have more of. So I definitely need to go in and do inventory. I, at this moment, don't think it's a theft thing. I might have just messed up on my end. I don't know. Sometimes, too, if Henry is checking people out, he'll ring up the wrong color. But definitely need to go through and do inventory, especially because I need to do a lot of restocks. So I need to know what colors I already have versus what colors I don't. I think that was everything of note that happened at this market. There was a nice staff member who did help me load my car at the end of the night. I, of course, was one of the last people loading my car because I was by myself. So I had everything packed away. I moved my car in, and this lady comes up and she goes, oh, do you need help loading your market? Or, oh, do you need help loading your car? And she kind of like looked around my car and she's like, wait, is it just you here? And acted like it was so insane that I'd be at my market alone, which typically I'm not, but it was a Friday market. But then she luckily helped me load my car up, which shaved a couple of minutes off so I could get out of there. And then it was a long drive home. I got home at 11 p.m. And keep in mind, I'm normally in bed at 9 p.m. Not falling asleep, usually playing on my phone, but I'm normally in bed at 9, winding down. So it was a late night for me. Crazy, a wild night out here. But I guess we will get into what sold at this market. Best sellers. Not surprisingly, it's my typical best sellers. The thing that was going by the most was my herb strippers. So these are usually in my top sellers. It's always my best seller in terms of pottery. So I make them on repeat. Like I literally am loading a glaze kiln this week and I have 70 of them going in. So hopefully that's enough to last me. But I sold 16 of them at this market, which is really great. I had multiple people buying in multiples. One lady even bought 3 and she bought all of them for gifts as friends. So that was really nice to see some pottery get moving. The next best seller then was cats. I sold 11. And I looked at the breakdown of color. So the best-selling color, tied for 3 each, was a white and gray cat and a white and sandy tweed. And then I sold 2 black and white, and then 1 each of an orange tabby, an all black, and a Siamese. So the Siamese was the only one I had, and I think I sold out of some other colors. But I did spend a week doing a challenge of how many cats can I make in a week. I'll link it up here if you want to check it out. But now I've got to make some more. Same thing with axolotls. I also did a week of that, and now I need to make more. And I've already made more this year. But they were 3rd place. I sold 8 of them. And shockingly, there's not really a best-selling color this time. So only one color did I sell 2 of, and that was the gray axolotl with black accents. And then I sold 1 of black with gray accents, light purple, orange with yellow accents, yellow with orange accents, a hot pink, and a light pink. So normally there's an obvious best-selling color, but it was interesting to see that only 1 sold more than 1. So those 3 are usually my best sellers. So not surprising anywhere in there. So now for everything else that sold, in a close 4th place, also usually a bestseller, I sold 7 pocket octos. Those are $12 each. And then I sold 1 stingray and 2 whales. All of those plushies are in my spinner, and I don't tag those because I make those by the dozen. And those usually do really well, especially if a kid comes in and really wants something. The parent will be like, okay, well, pick from the bucket of $12 plushies because that's the cheapest thing I have. And then I finally sold some of the mini leggy frogs. I sold 3 of those, and I sell those for $14 each. I then sold 4 chick with frog hats at $16 each. 2 possums at $16 each. My mallard ducks did really well, as per usual. I sold 5 of the Brunei blanket at $18 each, and my last parfait chunky at $16. In terms of chickens, I don't know why I did not restock these. I only had 2 chickens, but I sold both of them at $18 each, so now I'm sold out of chickens. I also have Mabel chickens. Usually it goes back and forth as to which chicken is a better seller, but I sold 2 Mabel chickens at $16 each. I do think I'm going to declare the round chicken as the winner, because if I had more, I think I would have sold more, and the Mabel chickens only sold 2 when they had like 15. Axolotls, as I mentioned earlier, we sold 8 at $18 each. For mushy boys, I currently have 3 different sizes. Once they sell, they're done, except for a Brunei blanket, which is the size I'm keeping. So I sold 1 Brunei blanket at $18 each, and the parfait chunky one at $16 each. Cats, we already mentioned, we sold 11 at $18 each. Turtles, the tofu turtle, I sold 6 regular at $18 each. That's going to be 2 of my green variant and 4 pink. I did not restock my beige, so 0 beige. And then I did also bring some rainbow tofu turtles, and I sold 1 of those, and they are $20. I want to mention this is not a rainbow upcharge. It takes longer because of all the color changes. I'm not upcharging just because it's rainbow. So I'll throw that out there. And then, like the Mushy Boy, I also have different sizes of crab, but once I sell them all, I'll go down to Parfait Chunky is actually the winner of the crab pattern. But I sold the one I had in Posh for $16. The jellyfish did not do as well as they normally do. I only sold one at this market for $21. Booty turtles, I did not sell any. I had the same issue I've been having at other markets where everyone turns it around or puts the shell back on. But unfortunately, my display one kept getting knocked over and over and over and over and over. And we were on the road, like I mentioned, so it kept getting dirty. I kept cleaning it, putting it back. It would get dirty again. I'd clean it, put it back. Cycle repeats. There were other plushies too that people dropped, put on the shelf, and they were dirty. And at least tell me. I'm like, the dirt road I can clean off, but at least tell me so I know to clean it, and so people don't come into my booth and just think I'm trying to sell dirty plushies. But c'est la vie. So I actually sold some big turtles. My turtles don't do too well. I don't know if it's because I don't have the fun color combos that a lot of people do. I don't know. I like to make regular colored turtles. So I actually sold one at this market that I've had for quite a bit. And it was using, the body color was almond. And then the shell color was Dino Dot, which is a really cool green, but I had it for a while. Finally sold it for $32. I also had a sale of my sunflower turtle, which those are $38. The sunflower turtle actually went to my best customer of the night. They came up towards the beginning to mid of the market, and they bought 4 plushies. Their total was like 90 something, and one of them was the sunflower turtle. And so I was super stoked about that. It's always great to have a big purchase. And then they came back later on in the night and bought 3 more plushies. So that was really nice to have that as a sale. And then there's a couple more sales. I sold one baby squid for $28. If you saw my weekly makes video where I made a yellow and pink dragon, that one did sell. So I think that's just more evidence towards my hypothesis. So I have a feeling that dragons that use 2 different colors sell better than if I did one color with it where it's the light and dark. That's what I'm thinking. I've had those sell pretty quickly, and then my solid color ones seem to stay with me for a little longer. We'll see. Do you have that same experience if you sell dragons? Let me know. And then the last plushie I sold was a Peaceful Pig from the Crochet Grove book. That one was $34. And I sold one of my crochet kits. Stickers, I sold 4. I sold 3 frog stickers, an aromantic, an asexual, and a bisexual, and then a non-binosaur sticker. Pottery, I sold the 16 herb strippers I mentioned, a garlic grater, a mug, and a hand-built plate that I've had for a bit, bringing me to a grand total for the market of 88 items sold of $1,483. And I was blown away by this. So I've done this market plenty of times. They do it every year from, I think it's the second Friday of the month, from May to September. And I've done these markets since 2022. I averaged out all of the times I've done the market, and usually I do about $7.50 in sales. So this doubled my average at this market. Before this, I had done anywhere from, I think it was $6.50 to a little over $1,000. So this was a big surprise. I was not expecting to make that much money, and I am very grateful for everything that happened. I have seen there's a Colorado post where people can review markets, and I have seen a lot of people are saying they did not do very well at this market, especially compared to normal. So I do want to make a little side note that I am in no way bragging about how my markets are going. I honestly have no idea why I'm doing so well this year, with the exception of my January market. If you want to go watch that video, I'll link it up here. So I'm just very happy with how things are going so far. I do think it's partly because I have learned over the years what people like to buy, and I've started making that in bulk. But that's just a little side tangent. I am in no way bragging. I don't know why I'm doing so well, but I will take it while I have it. I also do want to highlight that not every sale you make is profit. So I will put all of my numbers over here. I'll scoot out of the way. But after you take all of the fees away and the wage and all of that, I came to $446.70 of business profit, which I have a feeling that money is going to go towards Yarn at Joann. It was not in the plan. We were just driving around to kill some time and happened to drive by a Joann. If you live in the Denver area, I will mention it was the South Aurora location. And they had some posh. They had white, which was super exciting. They had vanilla bean and they had pomegranate. And they also had signs up that if you bought 10 or more items in the store, you get an extra 10% off. And if you bought 20 or more items, you got an extra 20% off. So Henry encouraged me to reach for the 20. And he's actually trying to learn to use it's like the hand yarn. I'll throw a picture up of the skein he's using. But he bought 8 skeins of that, so then I got 12 skeins. I got mostly white yarn because I am running low, and like I mentioned, I'm running out of chickens. But definitely will be shopping at Joann once that money hits the bank account, which hopefully is tomorrow. Usually it'll hit on Tuesday, if not Monday. I will also throw up a picture of my next market schedule. My next one is coming up here in 2 weeks over Memorial Day weekend. So hopefully that one continues to go as well as these past ones have gone. I do need to make $3,000 at that market just to break even. So we shall see how we do. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you're still sticking around, I really appreciate you. And let me know in the comments when your next market is. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!